And so we decided on using Mary's organic chicken, the same stuff that you find at Whole Foods.
It is air chilled.
Explain this one.
So instead of hanging the chickens upside down, they go in this room
that has a low oxygen environment.
So they just pass out.
Welcome back to my current podcast, Chicken Money. If you guys notice from my last video, my money's gone. Bet it all on the Tampa Bay Lightning. So cross your fingers that I'm going to be very wealthy if Tampa Bay wins the Stanley Cup. Anyways, we're back with Edmund because our last podcast ran so long that I literally had to stop in the middle of it because it was like 2 hours, and it was a phenomenal podcast. I actually almost cried. I made it a vow not to do any emotional stuff today. So today we're either going to talk about two things: Edmund's amazing sex addiction, or a little bit of the business side of Houston's hot chicken.
I don't have a sex addiction. I'm actually happy we're doing a second podcast today.
You don't have a sex addiction?
No, I don't, Houston.
What?
We're going to start with, listen.
Am I under the wrong impression that having 6 to 8 girls?
Okay, enough. Okay, we're not going to talk about this. Let me paint a picture for you. Okay, what this podcast is going to do. See, he's learning. Yeah, I learned myself from yesterday's podcast. I looked at a clip. I was so I'm glad we're doing a second podcast. I'm going to sit up today, put some jeans on.
Great.
So 4 years from now, okay?
You'll be 40.
I won't be 40. I'll be
39.
39. Yeah. Hopefully.
40.
I know. I feel fucking. So hopefully married. Okay. Got a beautiful wife. Got a beautiful child. Right. One kid on the way. I mean, one kid already there, and hopefully another kid on the way.
You're literally like gonna have to start this right now. I know.
Like, that's what I'm trying to get at.
You haven't met a wife yet.
I have a couple prospects.
Couple.
I have this one girl that I'm like really interested in. And if it works out with her, I showed you pictures of her.
They're all drop dead gorgeous. I mean,
all
of them are drop dead gorgeous. My wife and I, it's funny because my wife and I, we actually have this like legitimate conversation when we travel with Edmund or we go somewhere with Edmund, how long the girl will last, whether it's a couple of hours, a day. There was one time when
listen, I don't want to talk about this. Let me finish my story, okay? So I'm having dinner with my wife, my kid, all right? I've been working on this beautiful Wagyu porterhouse for like an hour, grilling downstairs, preparing it, all that, right?
Downstairs, so you still live in a condo?
No.
In this, because you're grilling downstairs.
I live in a high rise now, but no, it'll be like, oh, good point. All right.
So you're grilling in your backyard at this point?
In my backyard.
In your mansion?
Yeah, because, backyard in Burbank.
So we're neighbors.
Possibly. Let me finish the story.
I'm just trying to get better context, Edmund.
All I can think about is my wife and my kid.
Yes.
Okay, that's the point of the story.
Okay.
Now my house. So I'm getting ready to like cut into this steak, right? My wife's there, she's smiling. The aroma of the steak is just filling up the room. I'm like super excited.
Okay.
And then my wife gets a text.
From one of the other women?
No. From our bridesmaid, her best friend.
Oh.
Okay.
Got it.
Oh, no problem. Okay. Got it. I've got the fork over here. I look at my wife, with like a smile on my face.
She now has a 12-inch blade in her hand. And
No. So her face turns sour. Okay. And then she presses down on her phone, and this video plays. And I hear this very distinct voice. Mr. Houston Crosta. Okay. It's a video of Houston Crosta of this podcast saying, Edmund, let's talk about your sex addiction. And all I can think about at this point is my life is ruined. There's 3 years of couples therapy. I'm never going to financially recover from this. She's going to divorce me, take half my money, and yes, we'll be neighbors because I'll move in upstairs. You're downstairs. Fuck you. You ruined my marriage. You ruined my life because of your 50,000 view podcast. We're not going to talk about that.
Hopefully in 4 years, this video has more than 50,000 views.
Yeah, I hope so too. Listen, I don't have an addiction. I won't put that. Okay. Same way you don't have a gambling addiction. You have an abundance of cash, right?
And you have an abundance of women?
No, okay. You have an abundance of cash. So if you spend $1, $2, $5, $10,000 making a bet, it's okay, right?
Yeah, it would.
Because to a normal person, that's average person, that's like a $20, $30 bet, right? A gambling addiction is when you're like robbing and stealing and borrowing money from people, putting on your credit card, taking
like
a second mortgage on your house,
leveraging.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a gambling addiction. I don't.
So
go to
normal guys have like 2 to 3 prospective women, and you have 2 to 3,000.
No.
I'm trying to understand this.
No. So okay, I don't go to clubs. I don't go to bars. I don't go chasing tail. Okay, I don't.
Okay.
I don't do this. And you've known me in the last 4 years. I've been on and off with my ex, very off, but if you
Very
end it
loyal.
once, just end it once.
Yeah.
Exactly. So when I'm with her,
Very
it's
loyal.
just her.
Yeah, I can attest to that.
When I'm single, it's open season. It's free range, right? I'm
Correct.
free to do whatever I
The
want.
2 to 3,000 prospects that you have.
Yeah. So last night, actually, after softball, I'm home watching one of my favorite shows, Peaky Blinders.
Okay.
New season out. You should watch it.
Very
if you
nice. I
haven't.
like that show actually.
Yeah. So I got 2 texts.
Just want to give a quick shout out to today's video sponsor, Aventon, the best e-bikes in the industry at the most affordable price. They offer a wide range of models, with each e-bike being meticulously designed to suit every riding style and need. Aventon's frames are built to be compatible with pretty much most bike accessories, which makes it seamless to customize your e-bike. And best of all, they offer financing through Affirm, so purchasing has never been easier. So if you're in the market for a high quality and reliable e-bike, hit the link in our bio below and get yourself one from Aventon. Do it, and do it now.
One is the stupid text, miss you, whatever, right?
Okay. Yeah, we pass on that one.
Yeah. And then the other one was, hey, what are you doing? Like, trying to come over. What'd I do?
You sent the miss you girl a kiss emoji and went to her house.
No.
Oh, what are you doing, girl? You took her to dinner.
No, this is like last night at like 10 o'clock.
Oh yeah, she just
After
came
softball.
over then.
You would think that if I had an addiction.
Yeah.
But I just ignored both. I just
Wow.
watched the show. I was like kind of bruised up from softball, so I didn't do anything. Yeah, see, I don't have an addiction. I have like an abundance
Of options.
and sometimes I like to have fun, but yeah, that's no addiction here.
I do feel like your options list is growing much shorter ever since you've grown a mustache, but that's
I went
personal
home.
opinion.
Yeah, I went home yesterday after this podcast. Like, go to brush my teeth, and I'm like, oh fuck, this is what I look like. This is not happening. So yeah, I'm gonna rock it. I'm not a quitter, so I'm not stopping this mustache.
I like it. I think you look very bad, but
I do too,
it's
but
okay.
it is what it is.
Honestly, it's comical, and for the first time in my life, I look better than you. So, which is wonderful.
Still very debatable.
I know, I'm just kidding. That's really great, and I'm glad we got to air that out, and I'm happy for you. But
Thank you.
I do want to make a recommendation. That I made this recommendation for one of my friends that got divorced. He visited me after not seeing him for like 3 years recently. I told him that treat therapy like a normal thing, right? Don't ever get into a relationship and then force yourself into therapy when you have issues, because those issues are often created, right, because of non-communication or lack of communication, right?
Yeah.
Lack of trust, lack of something, right? But mostly, likely, it's a form of communication. So if when you start your relationship, and let's say you get serious 2-3 months in, and you're dating on a regular, take once a week and just go talk. It doesn't have to be a therapist, but it should be. Talk to someone.
That's a red flag.
And it's not. And you
Yeah,
just
it's a red
talk
flag.
about the
Can you
things.
imagine? Okay, you're married. You can say
I've
this.
done it. No, I've done it before. Me and my wife did this. We went to therapy and we complimented each other. We talked about anything with our life, our business goals, our personal goals, our family. And we made it a point to every week have a third party involved in our conversation. And I got to talk about my wife to this person.
Yeah.
About how much I loved her, right? And it became normal.
Yeah.
But then there was times when I was like, hey, you did this, and this that bothered me, right? I got that out too. And we never, me and Denise have been together for like 13 years now.
I know.
And she could stab me and I wouldn't divorce her.
So you went to therapy after you had your first child?
No. We went way before that. Way
2 months into the
before that.
relationship?
Like about 6 months, 7 months in.
Oh, okay.
But it wasn't considered therapy. It was like, we were just talking,
So what I went through was therapy. It was
but when we needed therapy, right, it wasn't abnormal, and both of us had already agreed to have that type of communication. So when we had a legitimate issue, we got through it real quick. It took 3 months. So I'm just saying, my point
Mine
is
was
that
a little too late, right?
yours is way too late, and that's why I don't think it got
After 4 years,
solved.
Yeah.
You know,
Tried
so
it out 3 months. found out I was not the issue, so that was a good thing from that.
And I can attest that Edmund's not wrong. That was crazy, like literally crazy.
The entire time in the relationship, I thought, something's wrong with me.
I definitely did too.
I thought I was the issue.
No, I 100% did too.
Yeah.
And actually, I was
Women
like,
are
wow.
good manipulators.
They're very good.
All right, so let's talk about Houston's hot chicken.
Yeah, let's do it.
Is that what we're doing?
So look, I want to talk about Houston's hot chicken because the more I talk about it, the better I feel because I'm very confident in this business. And I'm so surprised that the market has adjusted so abruptly, even though I'm a pessimist or a realist. And I've been talking about the downturn in the economy for probably a good 15 months. I'm actually one of those guys who sold a lot of things immediately after the pandemic, right? Personally, prepared, saved my cash, got ready. My business didn't. I kept all my cars, which ended up helping me because I didn't think it was going to be long lived. But personally, I really prepared. I sold my house. I rented one. I had a lot of cash. And that's a lot of the reason why Houston's Hot Chicken expanded so fast because both of us kind of did the same thing. I mean, when you were building houses in Tampa, you stored a lot of your money, you took a lot of it out and didn't continue to build because you were saving it because you had anticipated a recession also.
Since 2019. Pre-COVID.
That's basically about the same thing. We both kind of had the same plan.
And then COVID happened. Recession was like 30 days. It's like a half recession.
Yeah, it was an hour.
Real one looming around us. This one's going to be interesting. But I'm surprised. So we went into a bear market. Bear.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, foreigner.
Bear.
Yeah, bear market 2 days ago. And then it bounced back. We're out. Yeah, it's been 2 days. We're all green. So all my stocks, because I took a lot of put options, like going down and the stock market's going up. So I don't know. It's like I'm happy that the market's going up, but
it's just it's inconsistent now. And I think that today we live in a very transient world where people go in and out of different opinions.
Yeah.
Right. Really quickly, and everybody's trying to be a day trader, swing trader, or time the market, right? Yeah. I think that has a lot to do with our volatility is the younger generation, which is typically, I mean, I don't know when you bought your first stock. I actually got my first stock for a birthday gift when I was 16.
Okay.
And so I learned about it very early. I didn't really invest long-term, but I like to buy casino stocks when I was younger because I was like, my dream was to run a casino. Right. That's what I really wanted to do. I didn't really pursue it, but I just thought it was really cool. Me having my gambling addiction and all, own a casino, go downstairs, bet 100,000, lose it. Oh shit, it's my money anyways.
That's cool.
Yeah. But anyways, I pursued something else. But my point was, I knew about it, but I wasn't active. That wasn't really my generation.
Yeah.
But these new kids that are 16, 20 years old, I mean, we met handful of guys that were like in their young 20s.
That had one of our fans.
Remember the guy with Egg Sammy?
Yeah. Guy comes,
$1 million.
Yeah.
He's like 19 years old.
Yeah. I trade some options. I had $30,000. My dad took out a mortgage, blah, blah, blah. $30,000. I turned it into, I forgot how much money you said, but it was
millions.
Yeah. And then he's like, yeah, I paid off my dad's house. I paid this off. I paid that off. Hey, so what do you guys advise for me to do? I'm like, bro, you give me advice. Every stock option I make, every trade I do, it's always the opposite. So when I was 23, I bet $2,000 on ACAT Pharmaceutical. Okay. Bought it at $1. It was super cheap. $2. And then it went to $43.
You're rich.
I forgot what it was. Something along those lines. Anyway, I turned that $2,000 into 46,000, something along those lines. So I was like, this is easy. This is great. I was like,
this is why everybody's so rich.
Yeah, only time I ever make money on the stock market. Every other time I lost. I put when Snapchat IPO'd, put 100K on Snapchat. It was 34.
Yeah.
Right? Then it jumped to 17 the very next day. I lost half of it, just like that overnight. And I held on to it forever. I was like, it's going to go up. But no, I ended up selling at 13, 2 years later. But
that's crazy. It's impossible to time the market. But if you just keep it, right?
I mean, yeah, but
unless the company.
Now Snapchat is what, $12 today?
Yeah, that's a little odd that it's now. But it's tech stocks have periods of relativity.
Yeah.
Right? It's tough with tech, but if you bought a business like Target or an Apple, or Apple's kind of tech too, but a product or service, you know, typical company like AMD, or I'm just naming off more tech companies actually. But
AMD's doing well.
yeah, a lot of these companies like hardware producers, right? They come up and they come down, but over time, you know, 10 years, they're solidly doing
I
this.
don't know, Snapchat's kind of dead in the water.
But Snapchat's more of like, it's kind of like a dead company.
Yeah.
Right. The only thing is about tech stocks is that those companies can be, they go out of style like old iPhones, you know? That's the biggest problem in the stock market. Is you got to pick bangers that are backed by real stuff. That's my, I mean, I actually did. I bought Tesla in 2015 or 16, or maybe something right around there. No, it's before royalty started. So it was like 14. And
like
I had it in like,
$40.
no, it was like $80.
80.
Right. And I put $20,000 into it. And I kept it until about 130. Right. And I always think, I'm like, man, this company, because it never made sense to me that they don't make money. Right.
Okay.
And people buy and buy and buy and buy.
He's a
Right.
genius.
It is. And so my younger brother, Zach, he keeps investing money into like Rivian and like all the other Tesla competitors. And I said, Zach, listen, those companies legitimately are bad companies because A, they still don't make money, but B, they don't have a solid leader. And they rotate through CEOs and leadership people all the time. And they're always moving around. And these guys are getting paid tens of millions of dollars a year to be executives at these companies because they're living on, you know, Series A and Series B and all these rounds of funding. So if they're making that kind of money and they're jumping ship, I mean, what does that tell you about their company? He's always investing in these random companies, and Tesla specifically is bought because of Elon Musk.
Absolutely.
There's literally no other reason to buy Tesla. Honestly, Mario is buying. He's
Best
like,
example.
yeah.
Elon tweets something. Mario's like,
I gotta take
go to
Twitter.
the moon.
Yeah, it's going to the moon.
buy more stocks. Mario, Tesla's been red for 7 days in a row. Still red. I'm buying.
I'm buying.
And then he goes complains the next day. Oh, I lost so much money. I lost so much money in Tesla. And then it goes up 2%. Ah, he's a genius. So more Bitcoin the other day. I bought 10 Bitcoin.
Yeah, at 31,000.
Yeah, and what's it at today?
21,000.
Oh, it's okay. I thought it was.
No, it's actually 22,400 at the time of this video.
Oh, okay. So
it's on a tear.
19,000.
It was $19,080 or something like that this morning.
Yeah.
No, $19,980.
It's been a rough week for me, man. Down like 200K.
Why?
Overall, I'm terrible at picking options. Do not choose what I choose. Whatever I buy the opposite. If I sell, you buy. If I buy, you sell.
Can you post it on your Instagram so at least we know?
On these picks?
Yeah, that's actually a really good plan. I would pay $20 a month to know your stock picks just so I can do the opposite.
Actually, yeah.
You know? The thing is like, that's what I love about the restaurant industry, right? Because in my opinion, everybody is always so pessimistic about the restaurant industry, but I think that's such an easy way to win, right? Everybody needs to eat, right?
If you treat it like a mom and pop store, yes, it's the worst thing to do. Like my dad would always say it too. Like when he worked in Sweden, you know, when he owned.
We don't treat our restaurant like a restaurant.
No, we don't. Yeah.
We treat our restaurant like a marketing company.
Yes.
Well, I treat it like a marketing company, right? I build a brand. HHC, you know, the first Texas hot chicken, the first like of its kind, and we create a new type of food essentially, right? I mean, we're frying chicken, but at the same time, like we're way different than everybody else, right? Correct, we build a new trend, you know, just like Princess did back with Nashville hot chicken, right? We're not really on the coattails of that, and that's what I was so worried about. The only time that I was legitimately like, I don't know if I want to do this, was when Edmund wanted to do Nashville hot chicken. And so I just was like,
should we talk about how it started?
I mean, we can a little bit, but the thing is that like, it's really the key to our success is us being independent and unique.
Correct.
Because we're the trendsetters in this new path, this Texas hot chicken, right? I mean, you've got South Carolina barbecue, you've got Texas barbecue, Virginia barbecue, right? All have distinct flavors, right? So when I actually spent some time in Maine, right? And there was a Carolina barbecue place in Maine, and they used a lot of vinegar, right?
Huh.
It wasn't bad, but I wanted that sweet flavor, right? In Texas, everything felt like it was just sweet and just
sweet and bold.
It was bold, yeah, bold, but it was like comfort food almost, right? Whereas the Carolina stuff was good, but like it was brisket and pork and everything, but it wasn't like, I don't know. There's just something about like that sweet teriyaki, not teriyaki, but like that flavoring.
Yeah, like Panda Express.
Like brown sugar. Yeah. That's the flavor. Brown sugar I'm trying to think of, right? Yeah. Worcestershire sauce, right? Isn't that sweet? I don't really know.
No.
I don't eat that.
Yeah.
But anyways, those things, like Panda Express is my dream. Like literally, I've met Andrew a handful of times, and like he's literally like Jesus to me.
Yeah.
I mean,
Andrew's the owner of Panda Express.
Yeah, he is like absolutely maniac when it comes to creating and running with something. He owns himself like 1,500 restaurants.
Yeah, it's all his, right?
All of it's his. He has owner operators, like his managers, which I would love to do. We went the franchise route, but because when Panda started, it was like the early 80s, right? There was no competition. No one really had money like that. Like now, if you want to go get like $500 million, you literally could just call the neighbor next door. He knows a VC guy somewhere that's just sitting on $50 billion. Like, oh yeah, I'll invest in that. I mean, it's just overnight you have 50 stores.
It's easy to get money nowadays.
It's super easy to get money, which is another thing. Houston's Hot Chicken has no debt, which I love. I love that about this, right? Restaurants are the best business to be in a recession, right? And then if you look at Chipotle's numbers, you'll see that. But like, that's what is so inspiring for us, is that we're going into like a new world where all the fake, phony guys that started their little mom and pop restaurants, that they can compete with us, they're going to be edged out.
Look, so Nashville Hot Chicken, there's like 100
in LA. In LA.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Like every Armenian owns a Nashville Hot Chicken.
It's just like the tow truck thing.
Yeah, right.
It's Richie's, it's Dave's, it's this, it's that. Yeah. It's funny. Why is that? No creativity in the Armenian world, huh?
I like to stand out from them. But yeah. So
if we had it Edmund's way, it'd have been Mondi's Hot Chicken.
That's a great name.
See,
I still think we should change to that.
Stand out, yeah, real stand out.
One of these days, we're gonna make Mondi's mediocre chicken.
No, that's a thing. That's
MMC?
a real thing. MMC's a real thing. Honestly, like I've joked about it, but Edmund wanted his name on the restaurant so much, and I was like, Edmund,
listen,
like Mondi sucks, and I told him I was gonna lease a building in the ghetto and create Mondi's mediocre chicken.
That's all.
Always frozen, never fresh. Literally the worst tasting hot chicken around. I'm gonna use all these slogans. Okay.
I just need one picture of that on my Instagram.
And you send it to your family in Armenia? It's your face?
Like, oh my God, he made it.
He made it. America.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, I promise you, the funny thing is that restaurant will crank.
I know it will.
Because it'll be the cheapest food out there.
It's got my name behind it.
Yeah, but it'll also be like the cheapest food out there. Like I'll use that prison bread like Dave's.
Raising Cane's, right? $7 for frozen chicken.
Four piece of chicken,
like,
$7.
Chicken, tiny little like 1 ounce. Yeah, people eat it.
And they eat it, like lines of people eat that, right? And like
all your
Raising
employees
Cane's,
used to eat it until they tried our food. Remember that?
Correct. Yeah. No, I had one employee that ate Raising Cane's like almost 3 times a day.
Who? Andre?
No, Darren.
Andre used to.
Darren.
Okay. Yeah.
So, he met him at the movies.
Yeah.
Darren. Yeah. He has like a punch card with like 800 like meals on it.
That's crazy.
Like it's probably way more now because it's been a long time since we talked about that. But he loved it, and I didn't hate Cane's. Right? It's hard to hate chicken.
No, it's good.
Once I learned about chicken and how it works, I haven't eaten chicken anywhere else since.
Yeah, so let's touch on a couple of points today. So Nashville Hot Chicken is salty and spicy.
It's not good. Cumin is a very.
It's not. So they're not all cumin. Some specific ones are cumin, especially the LA-based ones are cumin.
Okay, I haven't had Prince's. Okay, I can only imagine that it's just a bunch of cayenne pepper.
Prince's is good. Okay, so when I went to Nashville, I went to Prince's because of the original ones. I want to try to see what everyone else is trying to replicate, right? And you always go to the original. So, when we started Houston's Hot Chicken, when we chose the name Houston's Hot Chicken, yes, it's his name.
Purpose was Texas. I mean,
yeah.
That's the purpose.
We figured, obviously it was my idea and my recipe. So I wanted it to be my name, but when he proposed Houston's Hot Chicken, I was like, you know what? That has a better ring. And when we go to places like Tokyo, Japan, right? Anywhere in Europe, anywhere outside of the United States, Houston's has a Texas ring to it. And people know that food in Texas is delicious, right?
Of course.
People love American culture outside of the United States. I mean, they love it here too, but even more so outside the United States. So for that reason, Houston's Hot Chicken, you got the name because we're thinking bigger picture. When we decided on the name Houston's, we thought about Houston, Texas. How do we make it taste kind of Texan, right? And different from everyone else? Because like the problem is with Nashville Hot Chicken, it's like, they're all literally copies of each other, right? That's all it is. And they're all going for that cartoon look, very childish look.
Literally, like, okay, so it's very simple. I mean, Dave's Howlin' Ray's was first. Obviously, we know the story.
So okay, so it was Prince's. Funny story. If you guys don't know how this started, how Hot Chicken started, right? So it's a black couple in Nashville, Tennessee. Husband cheats on the wife. The husband cheats on the wife. Wife gets like super pissed off. It's like, I'm gonna burn his ass tonight, right? He loves chicken, so she decides to make the chicken really spicy. Like puts a bunch of peppers in it. Like, you know, his mouth's gonna burn. Like he's gonna struggle. But you learn your lesson. Don't ever cheat on me again. So husband eats it and he loves the food. He's like, damn, I love this shit. Like, why has no one ever thought of making chicken spicy, right? So then they started Prince's Hot Chicken. And from there, Hattie B's copied them. And then some other copied Hattie B's over there. And then Howlin' Ray's was the first one in LA.
LA, yeah.
Howlin' Ray's copied Hattie B's. And then the guys from Dave's copied Howlin' Ray's. Howlin' Ray's grand opening video that's on YouTube. You see the guys,
the founders of Dave's.
The founders of Dave's in the background, like taking a selfie with like the chicken. And then Dave's, the guys from Dave's, I know a couple of them. They're Armenian. And then every Armenian saw their success, right? And decided to just like follow the trend, right? So they all essentially just copied each other down the line. We were supposed to buy a LA company. Okay. We went there. I had met them. You came. We were supposed to do this deal. Houston and I owned 50%. They were going to own 50%. The deal just didn't work out, right? We didn't like them as business partners. They were younger Armenian kids, you know, early 20s, like 21. No business sense. They just like landed on this really hot thing that was hot chicken, right? It's
At
like
the time, yeah, it was hot.
Yeah, it was a golden egg. Making a lot of money, and you know, they kind of just like lost focus because they thought anything to do with business is going to be this easy, right? But we've struggled, you know, 14, 15 years building different businesses. We understand that once you have something that's really hot, like hold on to, put your full focus on that. So some of the guys, those guys were trying to do weed, pokey, and like hospice and all
burritos.
Like, yeah, just like all over the place. We decided to do our own, right? It was our social media presence, right? Our business skill, mindset, right? And all of our experience, we, you know, realized that we can start something really big by ourselves. So we started this brand, Houston's Hot Chicken, and we decided to make the recipe different from everyone else. We want to stand out.
Honestly, inadvertently, like it worked well. It worked so well because like we were meant to have it different. Even if we didn't want to have it different, what we created was so different. Like it's kind of astounding to me, honestly, like how looking back at when we started this a year before our restaurant opened, right? I mean, that's why, I'm so fat. So I stopped eating the fried food, and that's the reason why we created the Caesar salad, because that's like my favorite food. And we obviously made our own special sauce, our own special Caesar. Yeah. You kind of call it like a, I don't really know. It's like a hot Caesar salad. It's not crazy spicy.
Hot Texas Caesar.
It's like it's an amazing salad, and I eat that now, so I get a little bit of diversity. But every time I have a sandwich, I actually want to eat it like the next day. Yeah. Right. There's a little bit that is like sentimental to me with our restaurant, but legitimately, it is just really good. Yeah. My wife will order it on Uber Eats. That's how good it is.
Yeah. Houston and I, we have like a little salad war going on.
Yeah, your stupid Southwest salad.
It's the best.
That salad's trash.
It's so much better than your stupid Caesar salad.
I don't like cotija cheese, and it's got cotija cheese on it.
Cotija cheese, mangoes, which goes so well with something spicy chicken with mangoes. And then we got a bean relish. It's just so much better than your Caesar salad.
The reason his salad is actually good is because of the cilantro dressing. Yeah. Mixed with our house sauce. Yeah. And it makes such a good flavor pairing with the chicken and the lettuce and everything. So like,
you would say it's better than the Caesar?
No. It's not better. It's also good if we took all the rest of the toppings off. If it was chicken, lettuce, and the dressing, it'd be fire. I honestly wanted to make a sandwich with that dressing on it.
That would be good. You know what? I'll try that up tomorrow.
Yeah, and maybe like some tacos. Okay. You know,
it's okay. Stick to what we're doing.
Dude, these hot chicken tacos, man.
Dude, so I've been grilling a lot, and I can't wait like 20 years when we're done with this. Houston's Hot Chicken. All right, whenever we sell this company,
you're gonna open a steakhouse.
Yeah, like the best of the best. Like Wagyu, everything.
I'm gonna open 3 businesses after Houston's Hot Chicken. I'm gonna do a very unique taco restaurant that I've told you about.
Yeah.
I'm doing the most ridiculous, expensive, absolutely wild Italian restaurant in all of Las Vegas.
Okay.
Right? My average ticket has to be $1,000, like 15, 20 tables max. Like I want the most crazy shit. White truffles every day of the year. Okay, I'm gonna find out how to do it. I'm flying the white truffles every day. They're not in season. We have them.
Plant them on the moon.
Yeah, and then I would love to have a burger restaurant. You know, in the same similar fashion as Houston's Hot Chicken, but because I don't think anybody really does burgers that well. That's like high end. I think there's a lot of great burger places.
Yeah.
Like your steakhouse with the Wagyu meats and the blends and all that stuff and the real wild. I mean, I went to a Japanese barbecue place recently and it was the most expensive meal I think I've ever had.
How much was it?
I mean, it was like $6,000. Do we want to tell everybody that?
I mean, we had a $8,000 one.
No, there was 4 people. It was $6,000.
Okay. All right, never mind.
Each slice of meat was like the thinnest you could see. And it was like this big, and they're $15 a piece. Oh. And I must have ate like 100 of them.
Thanks for the invite.
No, I
didn't even know you went.
Me and Julius did.
Oh, I've been replaced. I really haven't replaced. Fuck you. Okay.
You've actually been to this restaurant, didn't you?
Which one?
I took Mario. Oh, I took Mario to this restaurant.
Mario went. Wow, I've been double replaced.
Savannah went.
I'm gonna cancel Mario's card. So Mario is opening up Houston's Hot Chicken with us. He loves the brand. He's selling all his Tesla stocks, and he's gonna open up. But I'm gonna cancel him, Mario. Looks like he took my spot.
Anyways, I'll take it as place. My point is that there's really no premium burger restaurant, right? Like that's above an In-N-Out or a Shake Shack, something similar to Houston's Hot Chicken, but like in the level up space, right?
Yeah.
And I think that like that there's really a need for that. Real high end.
So maybe we cut this part out now to give people ideas. So 10 years from now, it's still relevant. You know?
You guys could open up 100 restaurants with the exact same idea as me, and you're not going to beat me.
You know, I was watching this documentary.
Okay,
on
I
Rolex.
promise.
I was watching this documentary on Rolex.
Can you compete with Rolex?
No. So the guy said, any brand, you can make any brand successful with the right marketing.
Yeah.
Directly from the founder.
Do you remember the Aston Martin ad for their used cars?
No, what was it?
It's like the most impactful ad I've ever seen. And it shows a woman basically half naked, right? And it says, you know you weren't the first, but do you really care?
Wow.
And she's like, yeah.
Wow, that's great.
It's for used Aston Martins.
No, I love that.
I was like 10 maybe when I saw that. And I remember I can see the entire magazine page.
That's amazing.
It was
That's genius.
It's a beautiful ad.
That is genius.
You know you weren't the first, but does it really matter, right?
That's good.
Aston Martin's the worst car ever created from like sports cars. Okay, most unreliable, the most lackluster, the slowest, highest horsepower cars ever. Okay, I actually watched a review
They're GT
from
cars.
Mr. JWW on the V12 Vantage, and even he was like trying his best to give it compliments.
The
This is
Vantage.
brand new 2022
Vantage.
V12 Vantage. Right, he was trying to give it compliments and he couldn't. Literally, he was trying. He was everything he could have done. Car's beautiful, looks amazing.
Yeah.
But $350,000, 700 horsepower, crap car.
James Bond.
But they have the best marketing. That brand is epic.
It's not,
James Bond was the number one, obviously the number one thing for Aston Martin, right? Was that secret agent. This is the car for the secret agent, right? Okay. You have obviously the sex appeal ads.
For the gentleman.
It was the gentleman's car.
Yeah.
It's never lost that. No matter how much it goes, no matter how crappy it was, the Vanquish is still the car, right? Like I've even looked at buying them from like 06 and 05. I'm like, oh, I need one of those because I want to feel like a 007 secret agent, you know? Yeah. And it's just the point you're making is correct. The product is junk. It's just the brand and what it stands for, right? So that's why Houston's Hot Chicken is so good.
Not that
it's
the product
so popular.
Is junk. It's
the product is amazing.
It really is. It's amazing. But we were the #1 restaurant in 2021. People love. When I say love, I mean they love our food. They love our food. They'll come for lunch, dinner, Monday through Sunday. Read
the reviews.
Yeah,
they're paragraphs long. It's great. So like when you're talking about building brands, you know, you've got to be very careful about different cultures, right? Different areas. And I think that with Houston's Hot Chicken over the Nashville style hot chicken, because of that cartoony look, right? I think that cartoony look has an expiration date.
Of course it does.
Right? And I've been kind of saying that for a long time. and you have this LA street art, right? And most of these chicken places have built an entire image around it. I mean, you have the Angry Chicks that has like the dapping chicken as a logo. It's like, I just totally feel like that's not relevant anymore.
It's not.
And so like,
It's very gimmicky.
it's very gimmicky. They've built an entire business around a gimmick. So when you go and you branch into Salt Lake City, very conservative area, obviously very religious. Even the South, right? Or the Bible Belt, what they call it. How is a company that's very LA street art going to succeed there? No matter how good your food is or bad the food is, it's the brand that's the best. I mean, a great example is our franchisee in the United Kingdom, in Wales, who I'm talking to right now, showed me an article written about Chick-fil-A. Now, you guys think Chick-fil-A, oh my God, Chick-fil-A, they never fail. This Chick-fil-A was open for 90 days and they shut it down. They were getting so many people out there protesting and all this stuff. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the owner of Chick-fil-A is like wildly religious. It's very offensive. And he blatantly offends all the different groups of people that don't fall in line with his religion, right? And that right now the current people that are being offended is the I can't say that word, but that sector, which Houston's Hot Chicken obviously supports, because if you haven't seen Edmund, but we watched this go down like in history, where a brand defines itself against a cultural movement, right? And no matter how strong they are, no matter how good their food is, how good their sales are, they feel disrespected,
of course,
right? And so in the UK, in Manchester, where they opened, it was obviously shunned upon, and they lasted 90 days. Chick-fil-A.
People were picketing outside until they closed.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's get back to our brand.
I mean, we're talking about brands,
so
right?
We were talking about, this was the most disgusting thing that I've ever seen. How they kill chickens.
Dude, I told you I didn't want to cry today. It's so sad.
It's actually very, very disturbing and sad. So there's a belt with hooks on it. They'll grab a chicken, they'll hang them on the hooks with their feet. So upside down, and then the belt moves along. There's like a small little pool of water that's electrocuted. There's like electricity running through there. So the chicken, its neck hits the water, gets electrocuted.
Which knocks them out.
But like they tense up, right? And the chicken's already upside down. It's like flapping, which is why you'll see red blood vessels in some chicken meat.
And if you bite into chicken, it's tough.
After that, they cut the jugular off, and then they let it bleed out. And then because salmonella could spread among chicken.
Not only that, the body temperature is warm.
So this is the part.
Yeah, but the reason they put them in that water is because they need to cool them down.
I know, yeah. So they put them in cold water to cool down the body temperature so they can, process the meat. But because salmonella can also spread among chickens when they're in the same pool of water, there's a chlorine concentration in that pool of water that's 40 times higher than a public pool. And a public pool is the most disgusting place in the world.
Open your eyes under a public pool and you can't see for 6 hours after.
Yeah, your eyes burn.
Your eyes burn.
So a concentration.
Imagine 40 times that.
Yeah, so that's why most chicken is bleached. It's white, right? It's not pink.
90%, probably more than that, like 95%.
Yeah, most commodity chicken is. So what we use, we wanted to stick away from that. So basically, when we started this brand, Houston and I, we already had money. We already had successful businesses. I wanted to make a fast place, right? Like a fast casual restaurant that I myself could go eat to. I like to eat clean and healthy, right? I no longer wanted to eat at the place with, frozen chicken.
Sure.
It's got a pump.
Yeah, me neither.
Blah, blah, blah. So I want clean, good food. So that was our idea behind this. So because of that,
we didn't really know also the process of chicken.
Yeah, I had no idea.
We literally had no idea.
I wanted organic chicken. I just wanted.
That's exactly right. So like we basically agreed that we were going to use the highest end product possible, and we go to like Cisco, US Foods, and all these places, and we go there and we sample all of their food, and it wasn't good. Like actually, that funny stuff. I remember that time when we went to US Foods and I was like in the bathroom puking. Yeah. It was so bad.
Can't handle spice.
Yeah, but it was gross. And so we decided on using Mary's organic chicken, the same stuff that you find at Whole Foods, which is it's the cream of the crop. I mean,
it is air chilled. So instead,
very different. Explain this one.
So instead of hanging the chickens upside down, they go in this room.
It has a low oxygen environment.
So they just pass out. Right? There's no stress on the chicken, no blood vessels that pop. The meat does not tense up. The muscles don't tense up. So it's very soft. And
It's very humane also.
Of course.
Because think the electrocuted chickens, not all of them get electrocuted.
Yeah, so not only are they on the belt for like 30 seconds, a minute, freaking out, right? Some don't get electrocuted and their heads just get chopped off.
While they're alive.
Yeah, so
that's terrible.
It's
really sad.
Commodities, 40 million. That's just one farm.
Yeah, that's
40 million a week.
That's
anyway,
right.
Let's not talk about that. That's
so at Mary's, when they go through this low oxygen environment, they pass out.
They pass out. They
completely. And they get killed.
Yeah, cut the jugular.
While they're completely,
And then after that, they get air chilled. So when you hear about air chilled chicken, it's not in this chlorine concentration, right? So they get put inside refrigerators. It costs a lot more as opposed to just tossing them in like a pool of water.
There's no cross contamination, and there's no risk of getting bad chicken,
correct,
like bacteria or anything, because they're not in a pool.
Your body's also not consuming chlorine.
Correct.
Eating chicken. Like, how disgusting is that? You want to eat chicken, you want clean meat. You're taking on all these chemicals without knowing it. So Mary's chicken is pink, it's soft, it's juicy, it's delicious. It is the most expensive chicken out on the market, and that's the one we buy. That's the only one we serve at Houston's Hot Chicken. So that's how
we managed to do this with a $10 sandwich price point.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys look at prices, okay? But the majority of fast food now, I mean, really fast food, right? You're looking at $7 for a sandwich at McDonald's, okay? Inflation has hit everybody, okay? Now we have managed to get you a million times better quality food and keep the price point at $10.
And our margins are still great at 28%.
Yeah, and I'm trying to push them up a little bit to 33. So, you know,
they'll get there once the price of chicken and price of ingredients and everything else comes down. But right now, 27%. When you compare that to like a Popeyes, they're 14%.
And it's funny because like a Del Taco, you know, they're 12%. Right? What was Wiener Schnitzel? It was like in the low teens.
Like 10%.
Yeah, it was like 11 or 10%. And like this is you're looking at like the biggest businesses in the world that have supply chains that are so fine-tuned and locked down. Every penny's accounted for, right? We have a very early business, right? So our supply chains are good, but they're going to get so much better, right? We're going to be able to fine-tune things. Once we have 100 stores open, everything's going to change. Right. So right now we're managing to be exceptionally profitable. I mean, our restaurants are doing $3.5 to $4 million a year. Right. And we're running a 30% profit by 28% profit margin right now. So you just do simple math. I mean, that's what a corporate store does. And obviously, if you're doing a franchise store, right, our franchise fees start out at 6.5%. And if you buy more than 5, you get a 4.5% base franchise fee, and then there's a couple advertising points in there. But
points for that.
Yeah,
so total of 6.5 points.
If they're doing 50% of what a corporate store does, right, which is $1.9 million, right, you're literally netting in the $50,000, $40,000 range, right, which is phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal, right? I mean, honestly, like I had no idea that businesses made that kind of money with that little investment. I mean,
if you run them right, and it's not just that we're not selling a $4 Popeye chicken sandwich, right? We're selling a $10 chicken sandwich.
Yeah, well, Popeyes is like $6.
Yeah, well, now it's $6.
Yeah.
So because we went higher end, we were able to charge more, right? And our profit margins come better.
Yeah, well, also our employees, our base rate of pay, you know, including tips and everything, is around $20.
Yeah, they're happy working for us.
We'd have nobody that quits.
Houston's Hot Chicken, I always say it. It's a vibe when you go inside. Yeah. It's so different than any other restaurant. It's like the perfect hangout spot for teens.
Can you just like say thank you to Houston for that? Yeah, thank you. You made the recipe. I admit it. Okay. I didn't have anything to do with that chicken sandwich.
What did you choose? You chose the wood.
Everything. I chose the environment.
What environment? I chose the lights.
What are you talking about? The lights.
It's all about the lighting package. Oh my God, Houston.
Oh my God.
This goes back to my towing days, right? When we started with the tow trucks.
The music, the lights, the art we agreed on, luckily, okay? All right? the tables, okay? The The countertops were you.
Thank you.
Okay, they were you.
Yeah, that's the coolest part about the restaurant. When people walk in, they're like, "Holy shit, this
You
is
have
cool."
red counters? Wow.
Yeah, no, they change
Yeah.
colors.
Yeah. Anyways, the vibe. Listen, at the end of the day, as much as me and Edmund try to take credit for it, we literally did this business 50-50 together. We agree on like, that's why I created this cool hypercar one time, and then Edmund added like a little fin in the back. I was like, yeah, that's my idea. And then his whole car now.
Yeah, it is. So,
It's because we agreed on the entire design in the beginning. So
your car did not have canards. Your car did not have louvers.
it doesn't have that
Your
anymore.
car has no aerodynamic.
His version of it does. Mine doesn't. Okay.
Okay. All right. So back to the chicken restaurant.
Yeah. The chicken restaurant doesn't have any canards either.
Yeah, it does not. But it has great food. So we franchised over 100 locations. I have another 130 on the table. I'm negotiating deals on. Over 100 franchises sold. We're moving into a couple new countries. Can't say them yet. Deal's not done. But
Where are you going in 2 weeks?
Asia.
He's going to Egypt. We've got a big deal happening in Egypt. Middle East, really. It's a guy that wants to take the majority of the Middle East.
Egypt, Dubai, Qatar.
I mean, there's only 4 really dope places in the Middle East, anyways. My point is like that business over there is going to do phenomenal.
Doing a 150 store deal just in the Middle East with this guy. So that's big.
Yeah, it's so big. Edmund has to go there. I refuse to get on an airplane right now, but you can go.
I don't mind. I'm taking a vacation.
Yeah.
Going for 10 days.
Yeah, he's getting a month off essentially. 10 days working, 10 days vacation, probably extending another 10 days because you're there.
Middle East, then I'm going to Germany. My cousin's wedding's there. Then I'm going to Mykonos, Saint-Tropez, and some other places that I haven't decided on yet.
Nice.
It's for work.
It's for work.
Yeah, we're moving into Italy.
Yeah, I'm actually going to send you a couple of addresses to look at because I got some nice houses in Lake Como that I want to get. So
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I support that.
Yeah.
100%.
I went into escrow today on that cheap house I was telling you about.
Congratulations.
It's not a congratulations. It's like I'm trying to like, instead of like a one big $8 million house, I'm trying to get 4 $2 million houses.
I'm so sorry. You can't live in a 20y,000 square foot house anymore. And you
I
have to live
can.
in a
What are you
8,000
talking
square
about?
foot house like normal people. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I can live in that house, but my wife is like the opposite of me.
She's
I'm
smart.
like, yeah,
She's very
I'm like
smart.
very pretentious and
she's
very
your wife's frugal.
yeah, it's funny because early when I had her in my video, she's like, oh, gold digger, gold digger. I thought it was so funny. I showed her these pictures or these comments that she calling her a gold digger.
That's hilarious.
And, I mean, I've been with my wife when I was 20 years old, you know, like
I was a cable guy.
Yeah, like our first date was in my like $800 truck that she drove me in because I was trying to test it, see if she would, be upset that I didn't have any money, right? I mean, I had enough money to pay for dinner and my rent. I mean, I was never broke, but now I'm like the opposite of that. And I just like to spend it on frivolous things that I don't need, like a very large house. But since this whole like restaurant business, I've just been wanting to get more like diversity.
Different places.
Yeah, like I want to open the corporate market in Hawaii, right? Like I love Hawaii. I used to go there every month for a week, every single month for 5 days, not a week. And then the pandemic happens and the politics there are complicated and I haven't been back yet. But I would think maybe getting a couple million, a nice house there, nice house in Europe somewhere, and maybe a nice house in Florida, right? Because I think we deserve to have the Florida market as a corporate market, at least South Florida, what we were looking at.
Well,
The
southeast we can do. Southwest we've sold.
No, yeah, we already sold Tampa. I haven't been to Tampa, so I don't really know
Tampa's
if it's
cool.
nice. Is it cool?
It's okay.
That's where you're building your houses, right?
St. Petersburg. No, Cape Coral, LaBelle,
How far is that from Tampa?
Lehigh Acres. It's about like 200 miles south.
Oh,
Tampa, Sebring, and then us.
got it. Yeah, I mean, I think that we should get at least we should definitely do one Europe corporate area, right? I mean,
Sweden, Sverige, Uppsala.
honestly, like
Stockholm.
if we did, I would love to do Geneva, Switzerland's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Italy would be great, right? Anywhere in Rome. But I think what would be really cool, obviously we start in the UK, Paris would be phenomenal. I mean, the density in Paris is absolutely crazy.
Yes, but Parisians.
Okay. When did Peru go to Paris?
They don't like spicy food, so I don't know how it'll do over there. But Paris is very diverse now. There's a huge Middle East crowd, so it'll do well.
There's 20 million people in Paris?
Yeah.
16 million, something like that. Paris is one of the biggest cities in the world.
Yeah. Only like 2 million are French now. The rest are all immigrants.
Everywhere else, yeah. The UK would smack.
Of course.
Ireland. And then obviously we can go down to Portugal, right? I have a franchisee in Portugal I've been talking to.
Oh, he told me.
You know, in Marbella, Spain, somewhere. Obviously the Spanish love spice.
Yeah.
So, you know, I just feel like when we're over here in America, the states, right? California, Nevada, you know, we have Utah, Arizona, we're all within 35, 40 minutes of each other. We can hit the European market in the same sense, right? I mean, you're 35, 40 minutes from massive, major European metropolitan areas that are like, you know, super easy to get to.
The world's a very big place.
It is.
We're in this small little nut over here in the shell, the US, and we think this is all it is, but it's not.
So that's why I'm trying to I'm not trying to downsize. I'm just trying to diversify, right? For the better of our company too, because we can't open a corporate area without one of us there. And I'd rather have both of us there. You know, I think once we solidify the Vegas market, I mean, we have 9 current stores under construction, right? Out of the 11 that are here. And it's tough to do construction with that many projects at one time.
It is.
I mean, we have 3 contractors, and we have 28,000 square feet of just fryers and whatever of tables and different sandwich prep stuff.
The biggest issue right now is the shortage of supplies.
ACs.
Yeah, ACs. The fryers that we use very specific fryers, and the best of the best. These fryers are on a 11-month wait right now. So it was 9 months a few months ago, but now it's 11 months.
We spent $500,000 on fryers like 3 or 4 months ago, right?
500,000 for the French fry fryers, 500K for the chicken fryers. So
yeah, well, we already had half of them coming in.
Yeah,
just the order we placed 3 months ago was 500K.
So now we're ahead of the curve. So we're
prepared to open the stores that we have,
and a lot of franchisee stores. So we're always keeping a rotation of 20 stores, equipment for 20 stores. So that's why we have a massive warehouse, 20,000 square feet back there, just filled with kitchen equipment. But yeah,
can we give them the address?
I just fucked up. They can probably figure it out, right? Just like follow our Instagram pages. Like, shit, I should stop talking. Don't do that.
Listen, if you're gonna break in, bring a forklift. That shit's heavy.
It is heavy. Yeah. Bring like 20 guys. Building a massive brand. At the beginning, we thought this was going to be like a 50 store, 100 store deal, right? Like we're going to build like 100 stores, maybe sell the company. But I think as soon as we open up the first one, right, we realized how big it's going to be. And now we realize this business is going to be around for a generation or 2, right? So I sold everything else. I'm out of real estate. I'm out of oil. I'm out of everything. I'm just fully focusing on this business because this is the one that I can confidently say is going to make us both billionaires.
I don't want to say it's guaranteed because nothing's guaranteed, but there's nothing I'm more confident in than this business. It's like the writing's on the wall. I mean, it's simple and it's easy to go from one city to the next and really be confident that the people there are going to love it, right? Las Vegas is a phenomenal place for us to start because we have everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, there's 40 million people on average visit Las Vegas, right? And like Josh Jacobs from the Raiders, for instance, right? He's from Alabama, or he went to school in Alabama. I think he's from Oklahoma. But he came to our grand opening, and we do business with him at Royalty. So he came to our grand opening, and he's got half the damn Raiders trying to buy a franchise now.
Yeah.
He's like so passionate about the restaurant, right? And I really didn't expect that. You know, I knew we had a good business, right? But I didn't expect people to like live and breathe this. I mean, one of my friends, Manny, he has a handful of smoke shops in town. I swear to you, he eats it 45 to 50 times a month.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not kidding. That's a real number. Like, he eats it at least every day for sure, but like sometimes twice a day. I think he's going to have some health problems, honestly. He eats too much chicken.
I was talking to my cousin about this, and I told him exactly that. I said, I knew it was going to be successful, but I had no idea it was going to be this successful. So what he told me, just like kind of like a stupid analogy, but he's like, look, every single car you in Houston have bought, right? Every single, like your Mercy, you made it the coolest Murcielago in the world, right? Your GT3 RS, you made it the coolest GT3 RS in the world. Your FF was the coolest FF in the world.
Don't forget about that Mercy. You should say that twice. The only red one ever made.
Yeah, only red one ever made. Houston bought. So, but everything I've touched, the towing business, it was the best. So the 5 that I had in all of Southern California, there's over 500 locations, contractors with AAA. I had 5. I had 3 of the top 5 in the entire state. So out of the 500, 3 of mine were in the top 5. I had
What happened to the other 2?
Huh? I had the
happened to the other
number
two?
1, number 2, and the number 5 spot in all of.
Who was 3 and 4?
I don't know, someone else.
You should have beat that dude's ass.
Well, yeah. Well, one of them was just for heavy rigs.
Yeah.
So heavy towing, so that
You couldn't have got that one anyways.
Yeah. Even the towing, I perfected it, right? I made it really freaking good. The real estate business, really good. Royalty, you have the biggest exotic rental car company in the entire freaking country or the world, right? You made this. This is the standard. Royalty is the standard. So my towing company was the standard, right? So with Houston's Hot Chicken, we are going to be the standard. We are.
I think we already
Texas
are the
Hot
standard.
Chicken, and everyone else is going to start copying us from now on. We'll be known as the originals. So
We're definitely the originals of Texas Hot Chicken. But like, I know that we're the standard already because if you look at our consistency, right, in our numbers, we have this app called Placer, right? So it's very simple to look at anybody's traffic. Okay, and I'm very well versed in competitor knowledge. If that makes sense, if you want to call them that. And everybody that opens up a hot chicken place, and I check Los Angeles, I check Las Vegas, I check everywhere, right? Anywhere we're going into different markets, I really pay attention to that stuff. And a lot of the big guys, well, there's only one big guy, right? They open busier than shit. I mean,
months.
Oh my gosh, this place is like printing money busy. It's like crazy. And then 4 months later, it's 100% dead. What tells me is they don't have repeat customers, right? Everybody wants to try something new. It's called the honeymoon stage,
Of course.
right? You know, it's just like when you get a new girl, you're like all about it. Every day you're talking to her. Then like 3 months go by and you're like, you know, I don't really like you anymore. And that's what happens to a lot of almost every restaurant, right? And so just like the Togos that opened next door to us, when their first day when they opened in our one of our green, I went there. I was like, oh, I can't wait to have a sandwich, and I haven't been back since. Right, the sandwich is fine. It wasn't bad, but like when the line was out the door, it enticed me to go. Right, I was like, wow, I got to try this place. This place is going to be good. And I swear to you, that Togo's hasn't seen more than 2 people in the restaurant since it's opened on its first day.
Once we opened in that plaza, we just took all the customers.
Yeah.
And anytime you go to Rubio's now, there's like 2 people in the dining room, and you go to Houston's Hot Chicken,
There's like
there's
20,
a line out the
30,
door.
yeah, easy. And it's just it's a different type of success, right? And it's cool. It's trendy. It's hot.
It's only getting better.
I love talking about this business because I just get so excited. We could talk for another 2 hours about it because I want to talk about the intricacies, right? And I'm going to announce an amazing partnership soon, next couple of weeks that I'm like so excited for. I've met a lot of great people living in Las Vegas. I lived here my whole life, and Las Vegas brings so much talent to the city, right? Because it's very advantageous to live here. Edmund and I have been working on some massive deals with some big celebrities and some people that are really influential that I think will help us, that share the same passion as us, will help us grow. I mean, Josh Jacobs is one of them, right? And there's a couple more. And so we could wrap this podcast up because I want to continue this and get people excited. And I want people to subscribe and really be a part of this business. And that's why we're talking about it, right? Because we want to share that, and then this is not our business, right? I mean, realistically, I know that everybody can't do that, but we franchise, and you guys can just hit us up. You go on our website and fill out a franchise inquiry, right? You could be a part of it too. You could be a part of the success, you know. And we're very transparent. You know, we send all our numbers, we send all of our information. Nothing's off the table, right? That's why we're heading in the right direction.
This guy, franchisee, called me literally. He's like, do I need to sign an NDA? I was like, no, bro. Our numbers are really good. We're an open book. I have nothing to hide.
Yeah, our numbers are good.
I'm sending my toast report right now.
Honestly, I kind of want to post them publicly. Like I want to. It's a little bit of show off, but it's also like I want to prove that this is real. You know, like there's a lot of people out there that are struggling, and I get it, and I'm sorry for that, but we're not, and we're really trying to entice everybody to come join our team because we're only going to grow together.
And I would love nothing more than to grow with some of our followers.
Hell yeah, because they're the best people.
Yeah, it's
Car
actually
guys.
6 of our franchisees are
Subscribers.
Yeah, subscribers. So
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's only growing because the more we talk about this, the more we interest people.